Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Rangers review inside the Bills of Hampden here in the press room ahead of the Scottish Cup semi-final between Rangers and Celtic. The teams have just dropped, as you can see the little ticker below if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. The Rangers team is the following: Alan McGregor in goal, back four of James Tavernier. Connor Goldson returns to the back line, which is huge news. Ben Davies is preferred alongside him. Bona Barisic makes up that back line. John Lundstrom, Nico Raskin and Todd Cantwell in the middle, alongside Malik Tillman, with Ryan Kent, who also returns to the side, supporting Alfredo Morelos up top. On the bench for Rangers this afternoon, McLaughlin, Ridvan, Hadji, Suter, Matondo, Kamara. Wright returns to the squad, Sakala and Arfield. I'm joined, of course, by Stevie Clifford. Good to have you alongside me, Stevie. Your initial reaction to the team?
Yeah, there was one change from what I selected in the preview on Friday, and that was that Ben Davies keeps his place ahead of John Suter, with John Suter coming out for Connor Goldson. Look, I understand the decision. It's not one that I agree with, but it's one that I understand. He's naturally left-sided. Maybe the manager feels that there's a better fit there, so he'll live and die by that selection. So, aside of that, Raskin being there, after yesterday's couple hours of rumours, is a good thing. Obviously, Lundstrom next to him is what it is. And, I just think that we're due a big performance, like I said on Friday. My position hasn't changed, Derek. I think that, I think we're more than capable, and I think we can do it. And I think that the team represents that. So I would have went Suter personally. He's went Ben Davies. But aside of that, from what we've got, I think it's probably as strong as we could have went.
Yeah, it's the team I predicted on it. We've done our predicted lineups, folks. If you checked out the Rangers review website yesterday, myself, Joshua, and Stevie put in our predicted lineups. You had John Suter and Stevie. It's a big day for Ben Davies. Andrew Webster raises that point and says Davies needs to stand up and have a big performance. I totally agree. I can understand why Michael Beale has chosen him ahead of John Suter, because he gives that balance on the left-hand side. And prior to his injury, him and Goldson had formed a pretty decent partnership. I know there are question marks around about Davies, and is he physical enough to stand up in these games? We've seen him, his glaring error at Parkhead. John Suter likewise as well. I think that's important that Rangers don't gift goals to Celtic this afternoon. But for Ben Davies, this is a huge game for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And look, I think he's been a wee bit shaky lately, and it's no coincidence that Connor Goldson hasn't been there beside him. So this is a big, big day for him. But he is capable, Derek. It's not like I think he's a terrible player. Yeah. I've just got my doubts over him, and I have done for a long time. I know that's caused a lot of controversy or whatever, but he's certainly capable. So today, he's probably going to pick up Kyogo again. He can't allow him the space that he's been giving him, in the League Cup final and at Parkhead. We've seen too much space, and he's punished us. So he is more than capable of finishing. We have to keep that door shut. If we keep the back door shut, we are more than capable, because we will create chances. We will get chances. So even if you look at the League Cup final, when I don't think we played particularly well, Derek, even at 1-0, Vashin Sakala misses an open goal. So we will get opportunities in this game. And that's what we've got to cling on to. The first goal is so vital. Rangers need to be ruthless in their decision making. They need to take their chances. They will get opportunities. You think back to Kent's moment, Morelos, the short back pass at Parkhead in the first 10 minutes. We will get opportunities today from them, and we just need to make sure that when they come, we're decisive in our decision making, and we are ruthless and punish them. So it's all there for Rangers today. And look, I've said it before. Everybody knows that I think I try and be fair. They are a good side. Like, they're probably their strongest 11, and we need to be respectful of that. League table doesn't lie, etc., etc. So we know that they're going to be strong. We know that they'll come at us and have a go. But at the same time, we shouldn't fear anybody. We need to get going, and we need to have a good go at this. So whatever happens today, Derek, I just don't want to be sitting here like we were last time after the League Cup final and regret the performance. Let's go and give it absolutely everything, get tore in and see where it takes us.
Yeah, absolutely. Apologies, folks, if you hear a little background noise as well. We're at a very busy press room here at Hampden. But just to give you an idea of the Celtic team who Rangers will come up against this afternoon, it's Hart, Johnston, Carter Vickers, Starfelt, Taylor, McGregor, Tate, O'Reilly, Jota, Maida and Kyogo. So that's how Celtic will be lining up here at Hampden. But the headline news for me, Stevie, and we heard from Michael Beale on Friday. He was hopeful that Connor Goldson and Ryan Kent, well, they did train on Friday, likewise Scott Wright and Alex Lowry. But Connor Goldson, for me, is absolutely huge that he comes back into the side. Rangers have missed him massively, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. We know how good Connor Goldson is. We know how vital he is. So we need a strong leadership performance from him. We need, him to not only lead the team but organise as well, and we miss his presence and his voice at the back. I think that's when you see the likes of the goals we've been conceding. Look at the second last week and stuff like that. Then he's needed for his organisation and his pick up. But it's a big day not only for Goldson, not only for Davis, but the fullbacks as well. Fullbacks have to perform. Jota and Maeda are going to run. You should imagine Maeda will run at Tav again, and Jota will run at Barisic. So these boys need to stand up and be counted. If you can nullify that, then they don't exactly track back. They don't, they put in a shift. But what I'm trying to get at is they will leave spaces for us that we can exploit. So it's an interesting one. I should imagine that Rangers will be 4-3-3, and then off the ball they'll be 4-4-2. So that kind of worked at Parkhead, Derek, to an extent, where we managed to keep Celtic out as best we could. The chances they got were all from moments ourselves. The first one, our goal kick. The second, Ben Davies. The third, John Suter. So if we can cut that out, we stand a really good chance, in my opinion, of doing something today. Way back 5-6 weeks ago, I predicted that we would go close at Parkhead, but not enough, and that the semi-final time comes, we would get a result today, and I'm sticking by it.
Yeah. Let's get to a few of the comments that are coming in. First of all, good day to James Strachan. He says, hello, Derek, Stevie, and all the Bears. 9:30 p.m. in New South Wales in Australia. I'm very nervous. Huge game today. We have to win, please, Rangers. Yeah, absolutely, James. It's a massive game for Rangers this afternoon. Mark says, have you seen the pitch yet, Derek, and what's it like? No, I haven't, Mark. I've not been out and had a look at it. Looked decent. I've seen clips of the game yesterday, Stevie. It looked decent. I don't think it's going to be as bad as what it was when we came here earlier on in the season, but it'll be a leveler anyway. I mean, it's affecting both teams at the end of the day. Yeah,
Joshua's got a wee video up, folks, on the Rangers Review site and on his own Twitter feed if you want to go and have a wee look. It looks all right on the eye.
Yeah.
I was refereeing yesterday and I've got a bit of a sore knee, so I'm not going down until we really have to. So I'll judge it at the time, Derek. But Joshua's given it a once over with the old eyes, and he said it's all right. So I'll trust what he says.
Yeah, Andrew says, send Stevie out for a look at the pitch. Well, he just said there he's got a sore knee, Andrew, so that's his excuse. Let's get to a few more of the comments. First of all, Ross McDonald says, Ross and David tuning in live from Madrid for David's 40th birthday celebrations. Happy birthday, David. Hopefully you have a cracking day over there, lovely part of the world, and hopefully you're celebrating with a sangria or two afterwards. Let's get to Richie Farlow's point. He says, Tillman needs to step up in those games. Totally agree, Stevie. He's we know there's a player. He's got extreme talent. He's shown this season that he's capable of winning games on his own. This is a huge game for him. He has to step up. But for me, it's important where he plays. I don't think it's entirely worked over on that right-hand side. Where does Malik Tillman play, and what do you see him producing here today?
Exact same as what we did at Parkhead. So Tillman will play in the 10 position. When Rangers go 4-4-2, when we've not got the ball, Kent will go left, Cantwell right, with Raskin and Lundstrom in the middle, and Tillman will sit in, and he'll sit right on top of Callum McGregor again. And that's, I think, really important. So, and with regards to him stepping up, I agree completely. He's had moments, but I think what we'd all like to see, Derek, is a big moment, like a complete moment. Maybe something that will kind of, a match-winning moment, something like that. Because we all know he's got skills, we all know he can score, we know he can finish. He's a young boy, absolutely got to understand that completely. But it would be great if he could just, prove us all right.
Yeah.
Show us what we all know, and have that moment that we can all pinpoint to and say, look, this boy's arrived. We know how good he can be. That's his signature moment. Let's let him go. So I think that he's more than capable of doing it. Even last week when he was getting a lot of criticism, I thought that he still had a decent enough game. He still created quite a lot. So what I would like, just what we talked about on Friday, Derek, a lot of the times where he's maybe does a wee flick or a wee trick, and then leave that at the side today, get stuck in. Let's win the game first before there's any of that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's address this question right now from Mr. Horses. What colour is that 4 on your jumper, Dale? It is the 4 from Football Italia. What a programme that was in the 90s. So it is the Italian flag. It's not the tricolour or whatever there, Mr. Horses. So, nip that one in the bud for those that are questioning the colour of my number 4 in my jersey. Right, let's get to another couple of points. S says Hope Kent is in the middle behind Tillman and Morelos. Kent is another one, Stevie. He never did much in the game at Parkhead. He was poor, of course. We know his contract situation. It looks like he's going to be nearing the end of his time at Rangers. He's one of a number of players where this is the last chance saloon really for them to cement their legacy and go down with the fan base thinking highly of them with adding a bit of silverware come the end of the season. But he has to deliver today, doesn't he?
Yeah, they all do. But yeah, I mean, Kent. See, the problem with Kent is we know how good he is. So we put a lot of kind of emphasis on his performance, and we put a lot on what he can do. If you look at the second half at New Year, he was terrific. So we want a performance like that where he can. But in recent games, he's been quite hesitant. He's not really trusted himself completely. So let's hope that he can drive and he can be direct, just like Derek's saying there, and that we can get some results. But I just want him to be decisive in what he wants to do. Can't afford him to take a minute or two like he did at Parkhead and then we lose the opportunity. So if we can get a really good 60 minutes out of then we've got options to try and come on. Options with pace and Fashion Sakala as well. So just hoping for a really good performance from he's capable. And again, if it's going to be the last sort of chance for him, I'd really like him to go out and have a moment that everybody can remember. So yeah, I think it's one of those ones where we give Kent a lot of criticism because we know how good he is. But he'll be vital today, and hopefully he shows up and has a good performance. I'm confident he will.
Yeah, hopefully he does. Origami Dinosaur says, seeing Stevie, the real deal Clifford, positive gives me hope. So you're spreading positivity there, Stevie.
I just really think, Derek, look, I might be misplaced and, this will come back to haunt me, I'm sure, but I really think that Rangers can do it today. They certainly get the opportunities and I trust the team to do it. So just hope that everybody today turns out to be really happy and the fans as well, hopefully are in good voice and get right behind the team. I know there's a wee bit of, I wouldn't say negativity, but there's a wee bit maybe of trepidation going into this one because I think we all know and we don't, we're a bit worried about what's going to happen, but I understand it. But let's get behind them today and hopefully we can do it.
Yeah, just going left field again. Simple Simon Hadapai, just on Football Italia, the days of the greatest football being on the council telly. Bring it back, Channel 4 or whoever TV stations you are that may be tuning in. Bring Football Italia back. That was what a show that was. Right, let's get to, there was another comment I wanted to touch on. In fact, it was Nico Raskin, Stevie. I think many of us, I know my heart sank when I seen rumours last night that he could possibly be missing this game. It's not what you want to hear on the eve of an Old Firm game, but he makes the team today. I think it's going to be a big game for him. I was impressed by him at Parkhead. I thought for the most part he looked comfortable. He gets stuck in and he dictated for much. I think it's going to be crucial for him today if Rangers are to progress to the final that he has a good game and he does what Nico Raskin does.
Yeah, look, again, Nico Raskin is capable of putting his foot in the ball and winning tackles and recovering the ball and being able to get it popped off quickly. We've seen flashes of what he can do. So he's been a bit unlucky with injury.
Yeah.
Again, the midfield were a bit like they were criticised last week, but when I watched the game back and came back to Derek, what we discussed the other morning on the Rangers review was, I don't think the midfield was the issue last week. I think the issue for us is we can't finish.
Yeah.
So I don't see there being an issue with Raskin, with Cantwell, with Lundstrom in there. I think it's absolutely fair to say that they owe us a big performance, but we've said that about all of the team today. So it's repetitive, it's simplistic in many ways, but it is where we need it to be. Nico Raskin's a fabulous player. I think he'll go on to be a terrific player for Rangers. I really do.
Yeah.
He's got that bit of bite, he's got that bit of aggression that we like. So today's a great platform for him, Derek.
And there was a comment that came in as well with regards to the bench. Just a reminder of who is on that Rangers bench, folks. McLaughlin, Ridvan, Hadji, Suter, Matondo, Kamara, Wright, Sakala and Arfield. Now, there's a comment here from David Nisbet. He said, Hadji, hopefully a key player for us today from the bench. The thing with that, Stevie, is we've not really seen much of him, have we? He's been on the bench a few times and been an unused sub. Can we read too much into that? Can Hadji have a role to play? I think prior to his injury, we know how big a player he was, capable of moments of magic at times, but we've simply not seen enough of him, have we? Can he have an impact, you think, from the bench today?
Again, look, Yanis Hadji's a fabulous player, but I think that Yanis Hadji's miles away from being fit. So I think that's the biggest issue. There's just not been an ideal position or an ideal place that we could have put him in for some game time. Naturally, you would think that he would just be a great fit for Tillman, that they would swap and, you put Malik out 60, 70 minutes. But I think Yanis Hadji needs a pre-season before we can really see where he is, if his future is going to be at Rangers. So I don't...
When we pin my hopes on him doing something today, I would
not. I don't want to criticise him because I don't want to come over as being that. But I think we'd look probably our bench and our options will be Arfield, Matondo, Fashion Sakala, and then we'll look at maybe Ridvan, etc. Might get some game time today depending on what we need and how it's going. But of the bench, I don't think. See, for example, I think Scott Wright would come on before Yanis Hadji today, just in terms of fitness and pace and stuff. So I'm not sure that Yanis Hadji will have a big impact. But listen, if it's Yanis Hadji, let's hope he can do it. I would take anybody doing it today. It doesn't matter who it is. So.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully Rangers can do it, folks. I remember coming here a similar stage last season, of course, when that famous comeback win in the semi-final that propelled Rangers to that cup final against Hearts. So I think it's going to be another close run thing here today. There have been so far since Michael Beale has taken over. You just hope that Rangers can get the better of Celtic this time round. Just a reminder, if you are just joining us, of that Rangers side, it's McGregor in goal, Tavernier, Golson, Davis, Barisic at the back, Lundstrom, Raskin, Cantwell and Tillman in the middle, Kent supporting Morelos up top. On the bench for Rangers, McLaughlin, Ridvan, Hadji, Suter, Matondo, Kamara, Wright, Sakala and Arfield. Now, we will be back at full time at some point, folks. You'll get all the post-match reaction. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get big smiles on our faces come the end of this one here. We'll get all the reaction, both from the players in the mix zone and the manager and the post-match press conference, and you can find all that on our website and our social media channels as well, and we'll get the post-match reaction video on those channels also at the end of the game. Thanks very much to everyone for tuning in as ever. I hope your team wins, and we'll speak to you a little later on. Bye for now.